I'm reading from the book of Matthew, chapter 6, starting at verse 1. Be careful not to do your acts of righteousness in front of others, to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets to be honored by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you.
And whenever you fast, do not look dismal like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces so as to show others that they are fasting. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust consume, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church.
Amen.
Thanks be to God.
We are on quite the hill overlooking the Sea of Galilee. And it is here that tradition tells us that Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapters 5 through 7.
So many different teachings in those chapters. The Beatitudes exist in those chapters. And of course, the passages we've just read as well. There's so much richness that we can pull out of the longest sermon that Jesus ever gave.
And to think that it was here, not in the middle of a rich city, not surrounded by kings and princes or wealthy merchants, but surrounded by the people of this countryside, fishermen, shepherds, tax collectors, the average person who lived in this place, in the beauty of this spot.
We have to wonder what Jesus was thinking when he looked out in the crowd and he saw the very rich and the very poor. He saw the healers and those whose own personal goals undercut the well-being of the people of God. You have to wonder what Jesus thought when he spoke those words, that when you give, don't proclaim your gifts so that others will honor you, but give in secret so that God will see what you do. And when you fast, don't disfigure yourself so that everybody knows that you're fasting, but rather make this a personal devotion, a personal commitment between you and God in heaven, who sees what we do in secret.
What does it really
Anybody
mean?
from New Faith, they're calling us back to the bus.
What does it really mean for, the average human who Jesus spoke to, us, to fast in secret, to give alms in secret, to not look for accolades from those around us? Jesus had no interest in the old keeping up with the Joneses game. It was about doing what is just and righteous, simply because that is what you do. That is what offers a rich life, not the wealth of the world, but the richness of a meaningful, purpose-filled life. That's where our heart is, right? That's where the treasure is.
And I think there's a consolation in here too, where so many of the people who came to Jesus that day, I mean, we know that they didn't have any food. I don't know whether it was just that day or some of them probably struggled with food insecurity. And Jesus emboldened their fasting. Jesus took that place where they couldn't eat as often as they needed to and let them turn that into a discipline, redeemed it. Jesus took the poor who could not give a tremendous amount of money toward the welfare of the church in terms of their income and redeemed that, saying that what you give is enough and nobody else needs to be concerned. This is a discipline between you and God, and God is going to bless and accept whatever you give. So there's redemption there.
And it was here,
Yeah.
in this place, on this
Amazing.
hill, over these waters.
Amen.
Oh, amazing.